Welcome again to another episode of WSXM. So my name is Teflon for those of you who is visiting me for the first time. So let's talk about it. What's tonight's video is about? It's about Burkina Faso. What this time Abraham Torino has two new, well it's not new, but I'm just gonna expand on it a little bit. They have two initiatives, two policies in place to help guide local citizens on the patriotic path and steer them away from prison and from committing any kind of malicious act in the country. So one of them is where there is no longer locking up non-violent offenders or people who's doing scamming or trying to rip people off. Now what he's doing, putting it for hard labor. So instead of giving you a year sentence and you get food, you get fed for you get fed 3 meals per day, and you get to relax in prison and chill. No, now you're gonna put it to work instead. And what am I talking about? Before we go any further, take a listen to this video and then you're gonna have a grasp what I'm trying to explain and then we're gonna expand on it. Take a listen. Boom.
I came in through here, and then I went through the hallway. They called me that day to come and work over there.
So they called you to come do a job. That's right. So you took advantage of that to get in.
I pulled the cables from the bottom to the top and then brought them down to the panel, because they said to arrange the cables along the cable tray and make sure the ceiling was properly closed. Now, there was a 4x5 cable that came down from the ceiling and went into what used to be the old cover. This cable had been installed some time ago, likely as part of the original electrical work in the building. I decided to cut the cable so that I could properly close up and tidy the ceiling, making sure everything looked neat and organized. When I cut the cable, I discovered that it was actually quite long, measuring at least 8 to 12 meters, which was more than I had expected. That's when one of my friends was there. He was in the gym. I gave it to him. He took it home, and I was going to use it to set up my house. When I got home, I realized the cable wouldn't work for what I needed.
So there you
I'm
have it.
saying this.
So do you understand what eventually is trying to accomplish here? Instead of, for instance, this gentleman who was supposed to be protecting the site and make sure everything is locked up and nothing is taken, he in turn took something. Well, he and his companion and his friend, and they commit a crime, which is theft. So instead of locking him up so he can go to prison and sit down for maybe a year or two, no. We're gonna make you do hard labor. So he's gonna be put to work on one of the one of the faster NEBO initiative, which is either the road infrastructure work, beautification of the country, which means um cleaning the monuments or putting up monuments or beautification, planting flowers or something like that. And also there's also the construction side of it, and also the agriculture. We have to go and work in the fields. So this also helps a person to gain work experience for one, and also pay your debt to society. Sorry, pay your debt to society, and also make sure you do not commit the same crime anymore. So anyway, that's one part. The second part, take a listen to this other clip, and then we'll discuss.
Saying this because some people make reports, but they're not serious about it. Some people distort things, some exaggerate them when that's not the case at all. When you call about a situation, explain it clearly and accurately so we can respond appropriately to the issues raised. But don't come and lie. Don't try to use the task force or the authorities to settle personal disputes or old quarrels you already had, that you started before. Take, for example, the case of the man from Faso Mebo who is here. Certainly the act must be punished. That's why he is currently working on it. But in fact, we had to listen to him and go to the scene to realize that people had lied. Why did people lie? Because they said they had sent the vehicle to a brothel. That wasn't the case. He got off work and he took the vehicle to pick up his girlfriend, who even has a child with him, and the family recognized her as their son-in-law. So people need to stop making things up when they call just to stir up social media. They could have simply said he left with a vehicle just like that and he's handling personal matters. That's forbidden. We'll call him in and reprimand him for it. But if you say, for example, that he took it to a place where there are prostitutes and all that, it's like you're stirring things up. So more responsibility is needed. There are many cases like this.
So there you have it. So now there's a second part to this also, where you can a regular citizen can call a specific number dedicated to leave the government know if someone is misusing government funds, if they are um, doing if they are misusing the government vehicles, or if they are corrupt doing involved in corruption. You can call a specific number, report a person, and then the necessary authorities will look into it, like what the gentleman I just explained with. They, even though this one was a lie, but they give you an example of what the, the the policy is, where if someone misuse the government vehicle, for instance, what they said he went to the battle, even though it's a lie, you can get in trouble. But no, this gentleman did not do that. He actually went and picked up his wife and child, well, common law wife, his family, as the gentleman explained, accept him as their son-in-law. So that wasn't something out of the ordinary. So he was saying someone was trying to be malicious and trying to use the system to punish someone who's not actually doing anything to be punished for. So they also warning against people using this for retaliation or for settling grudges, which is also paramount. So one, no more prison term for non-violent crimes. You're gonna get put to work. Two, there's a number you can call to aid the government in cutting out corruption, people misusing government funds, misusing government vehicles, which is also is key in any country, because most countries don't hold their contractors or their politicians, um they don't hold them to accountability. But now Burkina Faso have two initiatives, two policies that these are not word of mouth. These are policies put into place to protect citizens and also make sure everyone is actually taking part in nation building instead of causing issues in the country for criminal act. So now you will think twice about committing a crime when you know that, hey, I won't be locked up in prison where I've been fed and I can relax and chill. No, you will be put to work. And you see, and I'll show you an example of what I meant by when they put it to work, right? You either do water, you either go and do road work, or you go and you do construction, or you can do agriculture, because he does also have prisoners don't sit in the prison anymore. They actually go out in the fields, in agricultural fields, and for every day they work in the field, they get 2 days off their sentence. I did that video not a while back. So this shows you accountability is on the rise, patriotism is on the rise in Burkina Faso. It's breaking people this cycle of easy money. We can do criminal act, and if we get caught, maybe we can go and do time and come back out. No, no, no more of that. You don't actually do physical labor, which most people don't want to do for free. You're not getting paid for this because what you're paying your debt to society instead of society paying taxes for you to take care of you in prison. I love this idea, and I hope other countries in the Caribbean, especially Jamaica, we can adopt these kind of um, policies that put into place to help people be patriotic, get them out of um, this this mentality where the government must do for me, or I will do this the illegal way to gain riches. No, you do the right thing and actually makes the country better. And look out for your brother and sister. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Boom.